Greetings from Exam Heist. We have identified important exam questions. Practice these important questions 2-3 times to get 100% success in exam. Subscribe and comment, share PDF in the below comment section to get PDF of these 40 important questions. If you want to access full dump, please visit www.examheist.com. We have 24/7 support available for your doubts and exam queries.
Question 1. Refer to the exhibit. Which type of route does R1 use to reach host 10? 10, 13, 10 30 seconds. Option A. Default route. Option B. Network route. Option C. Host route. Option D. Floating static route. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, network route. Question 2. Refer to the exhibit. Which prefix does router 1 use for traffic to host A? Option A. 10, 10, 10, 0 28ths. Option B. 10, 10, 13, 0 25ths. Option C. 10, 10, 13, 144 28ths. Option D. 10, 10, 13, 208 29ths. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, 10.10.13.208/29. Question 3. A frame that enters a switch fails the frame check sequence. Which two interface counters are incremented? Choose 2. Option A. Input errors. Option B. Frame. Option C. Giants. Option D. CRC. Option A. Runts. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, input errors. Option D, CRC. Question 4. How do TCP and UDP differ in the way that they establish a connection between two endpoints? Option A. TCP uses the three-way handshake, and UDP does not guarantee message delivery. Option B. TCP uses synchronization packets, and UDP uses acknowledgement packets. Option C. UDP provides reliable message transfer, and TCP is a connectionless protocol. Option D. UDP uses SYN, ACK, and FIN bits in the frame header, while TCP uses SYN, ACK, and ACK bits. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. TCP uses the three-way handshake, and UDP does not guarantee message delivery. Question 5. Which 802.11 frame type is association response? Option A. Management. Option B. Protected frame. Option C. Action. Option D. Control. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, management. Question 6. In which way does a spine and leaf architecture allow for scalability in a network when additional access ports are required? Option A. A spine switch and a leaf switch can be added with redundant connections between them. Option B. A spine switch can be added with at least 40 GB uplinks. Option C. A leaf switch can be added with connections to every spine switch. Option D. A leaf switch can be added with a single connection to a core spine switch. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. A leaf switch can be added with connections to every spine switch. Question 7. What identifies the functionality of virtual machines? Option A. The hypervisor communicates on layer 3 without the need for additional resources. Option B. Each hypervisor supports a single virtual machine and a single software switch. Option C. The hypervisor virtualizes physical components including CPU, memory, and storage. Option D. Virtualized servers run efficiently when physically connected to a switch that is separate from the hypervisor. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. The hypervisor virtualizes physical components including CPU, memory, and storage. Question 8. Which command automatically generates an IPv6 address from a specified IPv6 prefix and MAC address of an interface? Option A. IPv6 address DHCP. Option B. IPv6 address 2001. DB8. 5. 112.64 UE-64. Option C. IPv6 address autoconfig. Option D. IPv6 address 2001. DB8. 5. 112.264 link local. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, IPv6 address autoconfig. Question 9. What is the default behavior of a layer 2 switch when a frame with an unknown destination MAC address is received? Option A. The layer 2 switch forwards the packet and adds the destination MAC address to its MAC address table. Option B. The layer 2 switch sends a copy of a packet to CPU for destination MAC address learning. Option C. The layer 2 switch floods packets to all ports except the receiving port in the given VLAN. Option D. The layer 2 switch drops the received frame. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. The layer 2 switch floods packets to all ports except the receiving port in the given VLAN. Question 10. An engineer must configure a 30 subnet between two routes. Which usable IP address and subnet mask combination meets this criteria? Option A. Interface A0/0 description to XXAXXX. XXXXX IP address 10. 2. 1. 3255. 255. 255. 252. Option B. Interface A0/0 description to XXAXXX. XXXXX IP address 192. 168. 1. 1255. 255. 255. 248. Option C. Interface A0/0 description to XXAXXX. XXXXX IP address 172. 16. 1. 4255. 255. 255. 248. Option D. Interface A0/0 description to XXAXXX. XXXXX IP address 209. 165. 201. 2225. 255. 255. 252. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Interface A0/0 description to XXAXXX. XXXXX IP address 209. 165. 201. 2225. 255. 255. 252. Question 11. Which network allows devices to communicate without the need to access the Internet? Option A. 172.9.0.0/16. Option B. 172.28.0.0/16. Option C. 192.0.0.0/8. Option D. 209.165.201.0/24. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. 172.28.0.0/16. Question 12. Refer to the exhibit. Which statement explains the configuration error message that is received? Option A. It belongs to a private IP address range. Option B. The router does not support 28 mask. Option C. It is a network IP address. Option D. It is a broadcast IP address. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. It is a broadcast IP address. Question 13. Which IPv6 address type provides communication between subnets and cannot route on the Internet? Option A. Link local. Option B. Unique local. Option C. Multicast. Option D. Global unicast. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Unique local. Question 14. Which IPv6 address block sends packets to a group address rather than a single address? Option A. 2000. 3. Option B. FC007. Option C. FE80. 10. Option D. COVALENTF1FO. 8. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. FF00. Skeptical smiley face. 8. Question 15. What are two reasons that cause late collisions to increment on an Ethernet interface? Choose 2. Option A. When carrier sends multiple access, collision detection is used. Option B. When one side of the connection is configured for half duplex. Option C. When the sending device waits 15 seconds before sending the frame again. Option D. When a collision occurs after the 30-second byte of a frame has been transmitted. Option A. When the cable length limits are exceeded. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. When one side of the connection is configured for half duplex. Option A. When the cable length limits are exceeded. Question 16. What is a benefit of using a Cisco wireless LAN controller? Option A. It eliminates the need to configure each access point individually. Option B. Central AP management requires more complex configurations. Option C. Unique SSIDs cannot use the same authentication method. Option D. It supports autonomous and lightweight APS. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. It eliminates the need to configure each access point individually. Question 17. Refer to the exhibit. Which action do the switches take on the trunk link? Option A. The trunk does not form, and the ports go into an disabled status. Option B. The trunk forms, but the mismatched native VLANs are merged into a single broadcast domain. Option C. The trunk forms, but VLAN 99 and VLAN 999 are in a shutdown state. Option D. The trunk does not form, but VLAN 99 and VLAN 999 are allowed to traverse the link. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. The trunk forms, but the mismatched native VLANs are merged into a single broadcast domain. Question 18. What occurs to frames during the process of frame flooding? Option A. Frames are sent to all ports, including those that are assigned to other VLANs. Option B. Frames are sent to every port on the switch that has a matching entry in MAC address table. Option C. Frames are sent to every port on the switch in the same VLAN except from the originating port. Option D. Frames are sent to every port on the switch in the same VLAN. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Frames are sent to every port on the switch in the same VLAN except from the originating port. Question 19. Which function does the range of private IPv4 addresses perform? Option A. Allows multiple companies to each use the same addresses without conflicts. Option B. Provides a direct connection for hosts from outside of the enterprise network. Option C. Ensures that NAT is not required to reach the Internet with private range addressing. Option D. Enables secure communications to the Internet for all external hosts. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Allows multiple companies to each use the same addresses without conflicts. Question 20. Which action must be taken to assign a global unicast IPv6 address on an interface that is derived from the MAC address of that interface? Option A. Explicitly assign a link local address. Option B. Disable the EUI 64-bit process. Option C. Enable SLAAC on an interface. Option D. Configure a stateful DHCPv6 server on the network. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. Enable SLAAC on an interface. Question 21. Several new coverage cells are required to improve the Wi-Fi network of an organization. Which two standard designs are recommended? Choose two. Option A. 5 GHz provides increased network capacity with up to 23 non-overlapping channels. Option B. 5 GHz channel selection requires an autonomous access point. Option C. Cells that overlap one another are configured to use non-overlapping channels. Option D. Adjacent cells with overlapping channels use a repeater access point. Option A. For maximum throughput, the WLC is configured to dynamically set adjacent access points to the channel. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. 5 GHz provides increased network capacity with up to 23 non-overlapping channels. Option C. Cells that overlap one another are configured to use non-overlapping channels. Question 22. How do TCP and UDP differ in the way they provide reliability for delivery of packets? Option A. TCP does not guarantee delivery or error checking to ensure that there is no corruption of data. UDP provides message acknowledgement and retransmits data if lost. Option B. TCP provides flow control to avoid overwhelming a receiver by sending too many packets at once. UDP sends packets to the receiver in a continuous stream without checking. Option C. TCP is a connectionless protocol that does not provide reliable delivery of data. UDP is a connection-oriented protocol that uses sequencing to provide reliable delivery. Option D. TCP uses windowing to deliver packets reliably. UDP provides reliable message transfer between hosts by establishing a three-way handshake. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. TCP provides flow control to avoid overwhelming a receiver by sending too many packets at once. UDP sends packets to the receiver in a continuous stream without checking. Question 23. What are two differences between optical fiber cabling and copper cabling? Choose two. Option A. ABNC connector is used for fiber connections. Option B. The glass core component is encased in a cladding. Option C. The data can pass through the cladding. Option D. Light is transmitted through the core of the fiber. Option A. Fiber connects to physical interfaces using RJ45 connections. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. The glass core component is encased in a cladding. Option D. Light is transmitted through the core of the fiber. Question 24. How does CAPWAP communicate between an access point in local mode and a WLC? Option A. The access point must not be connected to the wired network, as it would create a loop. Option B. The access point must be connected to the same switch as the WLC. Option C. The access point must directly connect to the WLC using a copper cable. Option D. The access point has the ability to link to any switch in the network. Assuming connectivity to the WLC. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. The access point has the ability to link to any switch in the network. Assuming connectivity to the WLC. Question 25. Which IPv6 address block forwards packets to a multicast address rather than a unicast address? Option A. 2000. 3. Option B. FC00, 7. Option C. FE80, 10. Option D. COVALENTF1FO. 12. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D FF00, skeptical smiley face, 12. Question 26. What is the difference regarding reliability and communication type between TCP and UDP? Option A. TCP is reliable and is a connectionless protocol. UDP is not reliable and is a connection-oriented protocol. Option B. TCP is not reliable and is a connectionless protocol. UDP is reliable and is a connection-oriented protocol. Option C. TCP is not reliable and is a connection-oriented protocol. UDP is reliable and is a connectionless protocol. Option D. TCP is reliable and is a connection-oriented protocol. UDP is not reliable and is a connectionless protocol. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. TCP is reliable and is a connection-oriented protocol. UDP is not reliable and is a connectionless protocol. Question 27. What are two descriptions of three-tier network topologies? Choose 2. Option A. The distribution layer runs Layer 2 and Layer 3 technologies. Option B. The network core is designed to maintain continuous connectivity when devices fail. Option C. The access layer manages routing between devices in different domains. Option D. The core layer maintains wired connections for each host. Option A. The core and distribution layers perform the same functions. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. The distribution layer runs Layer 2 and Layer 3 technologies. Option B. The network core is designed to maintain continuous connectivity when devices fail. Question 28. Which type of IPv6 address is publicly routable in the same way as IPv4 public addresses? Option A. Multicast. Option B. Unique local. Option C. Link local. Option D. Global unicast. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Global unicast. Question 29. What is the expected outcome when an EUI64 address is generated? Option A. The interface ID is configured as a random 64-bit value. Option B. The characters FE80 are inserted at the beginning of the MAC address of the interface. Option C. The 7th bit of the original MAC address of the interface is inverted. Option D. The MAC address of the interface is used as the interface ID without modification. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. The 7th bit of the original MAC address of the interface is inverted. Question 30. A corporate office uses 4 floors in a building. Floor 1 has 24 users. Floor 2 has 29 users. Floor 3 has 28 users. Floor 4 has 22 users. Which subnet summarizes and gives the most efficient distribution of IP addresses for the router? Configuration. Option A. 192.168.0.024 as summary and 192.168.0.028 for each floor. Option B. 192.168.0.023 as summary and 192.168.0.025 for each floor. Option C. 192.168.0.025 as summary and 192.168.0.027 for each floor. Option D. 192.168.0.026 as summary and 192.168.0.029 for each floor. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C 192.168.0.0/25 as summary and 192.168.0.0/27 for each flow. Question 31. Refer to the exhibit. An engineer must add a subnet for a new office that will add 20 users to the network. Which IPv4 network and subnet mask combination does the engineer assign to minimize wasting? Addresses. Option A 10, 10, 225, 48,255, 255, 255, 240. Option B 10, 10, 225, 32,255, 255, 255, 240. Option C 10, 10, 225, 48,255, 255, 255, 224. Option D 10, 10, 225, 32,255, 255, 255, 224. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D 10.10.225.32,255.255, 255.224. Question 32. What is a characteristic of spine and leaf architecture? Option A. Each link between leaf switches allows for higher bandwidth. Option B. It provides greater predictability on STP blocked ports. Option C. It provides variable latency. Option D. Each device is separated by the same number of hops. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Each device is separated by the same number of hops. Question 33. An office has 8 floors with approximately 30 to 40 users per floor. One subnet must be used. Which command must be configured on the router switched virtual interface to use address space efficiently? Option A. IP address 192.168.0.0.255, 255.0.0. Option B. IP address 192.168.0.0.255, 255.254.0. Option C. IP address 192.168.0.0.255, 255.255.128. Option D. IP address 192.168.0.0.255, 255.255.224. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. IP address 192.168.0.0.255.255, 254.0. Question 34. A device detects 2 stations transmitting frames at the same time. This condition occurs after the first 64 bytes of the frame is received. Which interface counter increments? Option A. Runt. Option B. Collision. Option C. Late collision. Option D. CRC. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Late collision. Question 35. Refer to the exhibit. Which outcome is expected when PCA sends data to PCB after their initial communication? Option A. The source MAC address is changed. Option B. The destination MAC address is replaced with FFFF. 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 Option C. The source and destination MAC addresses remain the same. Option D. The switch rewrites the source and destination MAC addresses with its own. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. The source and destination MAC addresses remain the same. Question 36. Using direct sequence spread spectrum. Which 3 to 4 GHz channels are used to limit collisions? Option A. 5, 6, 7. Option B, 1, 2, 3. Option C, 1, 6, 11. Option D, 1, 5, 10. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, 1, 6, 11. Question 37. How do TCP and UDP differ in the way they guarantee packet delivery? Option A. TCP uses retransmissions, acknowledgement, and parity checks, and UDP uses cyclic redundancy checks only. Option B. TCP uses two-dimensional parity checks, checksums, and cyclic redundancy checks, and UDP uses retransmissions only. Option C. TCP uses checksum, acknowledgements, and retransmissions, and UDP uses checksums only. Option D. TCP uses checksum, parity checks, and retransmissions, and UDP uses acknowledgements only. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. TCP uses checksum, acknowledgements, and retransmissions, and UDP uses checksums only. Question 38. A wireless administrator has configured a WLAN. However, the clients need access to a less congested 5 GHz network for their voice quality. What action must be taken to meet the requirement? Option A. Enable band select. Option B. Enable DTIM. Option C. Enable RX-SOP. Option D. Enable AAA override. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Enable band select. Question 39. What is the destination MAC address of a broadcast frame? Option A. 0000C 07 AC 01. Option B. FF 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 FF. Option C. 43 2A 08 00 00 0C. Option D. 00 00 0C 43 2A 08. Option A. 00 00 0C FF FF FF. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. FF 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 FF. Question 40. For what two purposes does the Ethernet protocol use physical addresses? Option A. To uniquely identify devices at layer 2. Option B. To allow communication with devices on a different network. Option C. To differentiate a layer 2 frame from a layer 3 packet. Option D. To establish a priority system to determine which device gets to transmit first. Option A. To allow communication between different devices on the same network. Option F. To allow detection of a remote device when its physical address is unknown. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. To uniquely identify devices at layer 2. Option A. To allow communication between different devices on the same network.